Genesis, the Book of Beginnings. The book of Genesis is the first book of the Bible. It is a book of beginnings, telling the story of creation, the first humans, and the early patriarchs. Genesis lays the foundation for understanding God's relationship with humanity and the world. It introduces key themes that resonate throughout the Bible, such as creation, fall, redemption, covenant, and family. Genesis means beginning or origin in Greek. The book is divided into two main parts. The first part, chapters 1 through 11, narrates the creation of the world, the fall of humanity, and the early history of humankind. The second part, chapters 12 through 50, focuses on the lives of the patriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph. Genesis provides a framework for understanding the world and our place in it. It explores the nature of God, the origin of good and evil, and the consequences of human choices. The stories in Genesis, though ancient, continue to resonate with readers today, offering profound insights into the human condition. Genesis is more than just a historical account. It is a theological and literary masterpiece that has shaped Western thought, culture, and spirituality for millennia. Its stories have inspired countless works of art, literature, and music, and its teachings continue to be debated and discussed by theologians and scholars today. The two creation stories, order from chaos. Genesis opens with two distinct creation accounts. The first account, Genesis 1 through 2, 4a, describes creation as a majestic and orderly process. God speaks, and the world comes into being. He creates light, separates the waters from the heavens, forms the land and sea, and fills them with plants and animals. The second account, Genesis 2, 4b through 25, offers a more intimate portrayal of creation. God forms Adam from the dust of the ground and breathes life into him. He plants a garden in Eden and places Adam there to tend it. God then creates Eve from Adam's rib, emphasizing the close bond between man and woman. These two accounts, though different in style and emphasis, complement each other. They present a unified picture of God as the sole creator of all that exists. They highlight the goodness and order of creation and establish humanity's special place within it. The first account emphasizes God's power and transcendence, while the second emphasizes his intimacy and care for his creation. Humanity's role and the fall from grace. Genesis emphasizes humanity's unique role in God's creation. Created in God's image, Genesis 1:27, humans are given dominion over the earth and its creatures. They are entrusted with the responsibility to care for and cultivate the Garden of Eden. However, this idyllic existence is shattered by the first sin, known as the fall. Tempted by the serpent, Adam and Eve disobey God's command not to eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. This act of disobedience has catastrophic consequences. Their eyes are opened, they become aware of their nakedness, and they experience shame. They are banished from the Garden of Eden, and their relationship with God is broken. The fall introduces sin, suffering, and death into the world, forever altering the course of human history. The story of the fall is a profound meditation on the nature of sin and its consequences. It highlights the dangers of pride, disobedience, and the temptation to usurp God's authority. It also introduces the themes of guilt, shame, and the need for redemption. Section 4. Cain and Abel, the first murder. The consequences of sin are further explored in the story of Cain and Abel, the sons of Adam and Eve. Cain, a farmer, offers God a sacrifice of his crops. Abel, a shepherd, offers the firstborn of his flock. God favors Abel's sacrifice, enraging Cain. Consumed by jealousy, Cain murders his brother. When God confronts Cain about Abel's whereabouts, Cain famously replies, "Am I my brother's keeper?" Genesis 4:9. God punishes Cain by cursing him to wander the earth, unable to farm. This story highlights the destructive power of sin. It shows how envy, anger, and resentment can lead to violence and death. It also introduces the concept of sin's social consequences, as Cain's actions disrupt the harmony of the family and the community. The story of Cain and Abel serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked anger, and the importance of responsibility for one another. Section 5. Noah's Ark and the Flood, a New Beginning. As sin spreads throughout the earth, God decides to start anew with a righteous man named Noah. God instructs Noah to build an ark to save himself, his family, and 2 of every kind of animal from a catastrophic flood. The flood is a symbol of God's judgment on a world consumed by wickedness. After 40 days and nights of rain, the floodwaters recede. Noah sends out a dove, which returns with an olive branch, a sign that the waters have subsided and that new life is possible. God makes a covenant with Noah, promising never again to destroy the earth by flood. The story of Noah's Ark is a story of both judgment and hope. It shows the devastating consequences of unchecked sin, but it also highlights God's mercy and his desire to redeem humanity. The covenant with Noah represents a new beginning, a fresh start for humanity. Section 6. The Tower of Babel, Human Ambition and Divine Intervention. The Tower of Babel story illustrates the dangers of human pride and the desire to usurp God's authority. The people of the earth, united by a common language, decide to build a tower that reaches to the heavens. They seek to make a name for themselves and to avoid being scattered across the earth. God sees their arrogance and confounds their language, creating a multitude of tongues. Unable to understand one another, the people are scattered across the earth, their plans thwarted. The Tower of Babel story serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of pride, ambition, and the pursuit of power without regard for God's will. It also highlights the importance of diversity and the consequences of seeking unity at the expense of God's plan. The scattering of the people, while presented as a consequence of their sin, also paves the way for the diversity of cultures and languages that exist in the world. It is a reminder that God's plans are often different from our own, and that true unity comes from seeking His will, not our own ambitions.